Before I introduce you to our invigorating panelists and different sessions, let me open with our opening prayers, our Chinmaya opening prayers. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadita Mastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kodi Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvatam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niritam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Our first session about graceful aging is the talk about Vedanta to be given by R. Medaji. Medaji is a retired scientist. She also has completed 2-year course, Acharya course at Sandipni Sadhanalaya. I like to mention that she also takes 2 or 3 classes. I'm going to give you the details of those classes and you're happy to attend those. So on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. on application of the Upanishads in daily life. On Fridays, 8 p.m., empowerment from within. We will put these links on our chats so you can have those links and you can attend these programs as well. Medaji, please lead us with your Vedanta session.
Hari Om and welcome all. I see, yes, some of them are turning the cameras on. Those who know I like to have the cameras on and they are dutifully turning them on. I like it very much. Thank you very much. All right. So today's theme, Sangeeta ji had mentioned, she is going to do about sleep. And then sleep is very dear to all of us. And especially with this age, it can get little bit elusive. So she will talk from the medical point of view. Jai ji is going to talk from the yoga point of view. I will keep it suspense. I won't give it away what he is going to do. He should introduce himself. But I will just give you a teaser that something interesting is coming up after my talk. And I will deal little bit from the Vedantic point of view. Now, after this session is done, there is Ram Navamis and Hanuman Jayanti celebration. So, especially me, I need to keep track of time because when I'm talking something, usually I may go little bit, couple minutes here and there. So, today I'm going to restrict myself. I have also put an alarm to myself and I will finish on time. But we will continue this next time also. So if you feel we are rushing today, we don't want to rush, but we want to keep track of time and we will continue this next time also. Now let's begin from the sleep. And as all of us know, it is very important to have enough sleep. Now everybody, it's a different amount. Some six hours are sufficient, for some 8 hours are needed. and whatever different time it would be. But all of us understand the importance of sleep, because sleep is necessary requirement for our good health. That's for sure. Okay. Now I read somewhere an acronym for sleep, and it is just kind of fun. I'm sharing it. It is stress level elimination exercise program. Sleep, SLEEP. Stress level. Two E's are elimination exercise program. So what it is indicating is it is some kind of exercise for us to remove stress. So we need to have very little stress to go to sleep to begin with. And if we can sleep well, then we can handle stress. So it goes in cycles. So it goes both ways. So I'm going to deal from the Vedantic point of view. What causes stress? So if we don't want to have stress so that we can sleep well, so how we can handle stress? So for that, what are the causes of stress as Vedanta would describe? Okay. And luckily enough, these are only three causes. That's very good news to begin with. Only three causes for stress. Now you would say, what are only, how come there could be only three? There are several of those, but whatever all causes you list, they can be classified into these three. Now, usually I like to have a discussion format. I would have asked you questions, but many of you have your cameras off, and many of you, we don't have time today. So you will have to listen to me from only one-sided, which usually I don't like to do, but we'll do it this way. So what are various causes of stress? And if we classify them, they will come only in three kinds. And Gurudev, our Swami Chinmayananda, used to describe them very humorously also. I cannot do as he did it, but I will just mention point blank, what are the three main reasons for stress? And you will say, oh, we knew that. Of course we know this, but how to handle those will go further from there. Okay. Number one cause is memories of the past. Number one cause is memories of the past, going towards sometimes regrets of the past, but not necessarily always regrets, memories. I will give you example. I will give you an example. Many of us would be retired. Oh, I used to have such a nice job over there. And I used to enjoy so much, whatever. I used to give talks, I was a scientist, whatever job you did. I don't know why I retired. And then we live in the past saying how nice that job was. But at that time, we forget. Sometimes it was stressful also. But right now, we remember only the good part of it, and we live in the past, those good memories, which we are not able to experience right now. From that angle, we will be in the memories of the past. My job, my house, I had such a huge house. Now I live in an apartment. I don't know, so only 2 rooms, this, that, again, back in the going into the memories. Relations, you get an idea. I won't elaborate way too much, but one is memories of the past. But we know past is history. It's gone. We cannot achieve it. We cannot get that back, but we remain in the past, and we spend our energy into past trying to relive those, but we are not able to do that right now, which causes stress. So that is one reason for causing stress is memories of the past, and sometimes it could be regrets. I wish I had done that when I was 40 years old. I wish I had learned about what is Vanaprastha when I was 40 years old. So now it won't be hitting me hard. I wish I had known it earlier. Now it cannot be done. Gone is past. Whatever I can do now. Okay. So then coming to the present, regrets or the memories of the past in the present. So second cause is excitement in the present. Excitement in the present. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to achieve this, I want to do something, and that will cause us lot of stress. Example. Nowadays, this example. There are three choices or maybe two choices for vaccine. Which one should I take? Pfizer or Moderna? No, Moderna gives, sometimes some people say that gives lot of reaction. I don't want that. But there is no choice to begin with. What do I do? Whatever I get, but I don't get an appointment. I have to go online to do it. I don't know how to do it. How do I do? I don't know how people get appointments. All these excitements in the present. And also watching too much news. I know it is very difficult time right now in India. We cannot do, but whatever we can do, we will love to do. But if we watch too much news, too much TV, too much like watching movies or anything, that will cause too much excitement. And then when we go to bed, we are not able to sleep. We have not cleaned our plate. There is too much on our plate right now, and that's keeping us awake. So number two cause is excitement of the present. First one was memories or the regrets of the past, living in the history. Number two, excitement in the present. And number three, you know where I'm going now. I'm going to the future part and anxieties in the future. What if? What if? What if? There are so many what ifs are there in this age now. I don't know whether there would be enough money for me. I don't know how long I would live. What if I live 95 years and the money is not sufficient? What will happen to social security? What will happen to health insurance? What will happen to these pharmacy costs? Something anxiety in the future. What will happen to my relatives? What will happen to my near and dear ones? Whether I would be able to keep control on my life or somebody else will have to take care of me. These are all valid points and causing anxiety, but that will keep us awake at night. So what are the three main? And if you name any of the stress now, it can be classified into these three. What are those three? Memories or the regrets of the past. Then excitements in the present. And number three is anxieties of the future. Future is unknown. We don't know. So past is history. Future is future is mystery. And we have to be in the present. And we have to treat our present as a gift. It is a gift to us. I recently heard from one of the Swamis that if we don't appreciate what we have, Bhagwan takes it away from us. Bhagwan says you are not appreciative enough. He will take it away from us. So we have to be appreciative of what we have. We cannot be just living in the past. We cannot be just living in the future, in the present. This is given to me as a gift by God, and then I will make best use of it, and I will serve the Lord. I will have some higher purpose in this life over here. I'm not just getting up in the morning, doing my breakfast, doing some chit-chatting, watching WhatsApp, watching whatever different movies, and then at the end in the watching too much news and I'm done, I'm going to bed. This is not something like we want to live. No one wants to live like that. We want to have a higher purpose. So we have to use whatever life given by the Lord as a gift to us. And Bhagavad Gita is saying that these three, the stress causing situations that I mentioned, in one word, if we want to summarize those, just in one word, is desire. You see, anything, all this, everything can fall in desire. So Bhagwan says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that there are three gates to hell. There are three gates to hell. Naraka, Dwara, Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. There are three gates to hell, the Naraka, meaning giving dukkha, stress right now while we are here. We don't have to go Naraka up there somewhere. Right now, while living here, we experience hell because of these three. What are those? Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. And actually, you will just say one, Kama. Because karma is desire. I want all the whatever I mentioned, everything comes to desire. I wish I had a big house. I wish I had something like this. I wish I had this in, I wish I could do this vaccine. I take this vaccine. I wish my health will remain. Everything is under one desire. We do have desires, but how do we fulfill those desires? We'll talk next time. We'll continue this. But karma, this desire, if it is not fulfilled, leads to anger. And that is krodha. And if it is fulfilled, it leads to greed. I want more. I want more. So kama, krodha, and lobha, desire, anger, and greed are the three getaways to stress. Hell here right now. Out of those, only karma, if we are under control, remaining two will automatically come under control. Because the desire fulfilled leads to one of those lobha. Desire not fulfilled leads to anger. Okay, so I will leave at this time how to control these, how to have these desires under our control, not that we are going to suppress. We'll continue this next time. Keep thinking during this entire month, how can I have my desires under my control? Okay, and we'll give you some tips what Bhagavad Gita is giving. So stay tuned for the next session. So three getaways to Naraka, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, and anything Kama desire can be classified, or stress can be classified into memories of the past, excitement of the present, and anxieties of future. Okay, I will continue on this thread next time, but think over it during this month. Hariom, my time is exactly up. Hariom, thank you so much.
Thank you, Medaji. Those were all very important points that you made. And I think all of us experience that when we lay our head on the pillow at night, all of these things. So that's why I love Vedanta. It's so practical, and we already knew this, right?
Yes.
And thanks for bringing this knowledge to us. And I always enjoy it. So for our next session, I invite JG. JG is going to lead us on the same topic, and I will let him explain what he's going to do in terms of yoga to help our sleep. Hari Om, JG.
Hari Om Sangeeta ji, Hari Om everyone. I'm going to introduce Yoga Nidra that many of you may have done in the past, but there is a major misunderstanding about Yoga Nidra. whenever during the yoga class, at the end, I say we are going to Yoga Nidra, people assume that, okay, it's time for sleep. This is the number one misunderstanding about Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is floating in consciousness. In other words, conscious of consciousness. It is the complete samadhi state. Shankaracharya ji says, Nidra samadhi stidhi. In one of his stotra, he says. So we should think about that, because why I want to say this preface is I don't want you to sleep during the Yoga Nidra, but understanding the importance of it. According to me, Yoga Nidra is higher than the meditation, because in the meditation, there is a meditator, meditation, and there is an effort. Whereas in Yoga Nidra, effortlessly fall into consciousness, identify with the consciousness, remain in consciousness. Okay, how are we going to do? Preferably, you lie down on the ground. You can spread a sheet or a yoga mat. As close to the ground is better, because that magnetic power of the Mother Earth we are missing for a long time. And second thing, what we do is, we lie down in Shavasana, which is like we leave the body as a dead body. And then we'll take we start with the 3 steps. Progressive stretch and relaxation. We call it a PSR, and I will guide you through that. And then next step is the conscious body scan. And then Prana Dharana. These are some of the terms I just want to introduce, but I will guide you through that. And then finally, through the Prana Dharana, we will get into that consciousness, and I will guide you through this thing. So I will be practicing with you. So in case you fall in sleep, and it is normal initially, but the idea is you regularly practice to stay awake. So we'll go straight away into the practice. You can lie down. If you are not able to lie down in a place, you can sit on the chair also. Just relax completely. Just follow the instruction. How receptive you are to my instruction, that better. Normally what happened is people don't connect, understand, or try to think something else. So as soon as it happens, you bring it back, and you can even repeat in your mind the suggestions that I am giving. So lie down on the ground. Legs 2 feet apart, hands 1 feet away from the body, palms facing toward the ceiling. Fingers are naturally curved inside. Loosen up the body, completely let go. Now tighten the toes on your both legs. Tighten the ankle joint, cuff muscle, knee joint, pull the kneecap in, thigh muscle, hip joint, hold it tight. Press the hip joint to the ground, hold it tight, tighter, and let go. Now come to the hands. Make a fist, tight fist, both hands, wrist joint, lower hand, elbow, bicep, shoulder, shoulder blade. Raise your both hands away from the floor. Keep your eyes closed. Notice that stretch and let go. Now take a deep breath in to the stomach. When you are inhaling, mentally imagine that you're filling up a balloon with air. Slowly inhale, feel the stomach is rising up. Inhale. Hold, feel that tightness at the internal organs. Bring your awareness, hold the breath. Blow through the mouth. One more round, inhale to the chest. Sorry, inhale to the stomach here. Hold, feel the tension. Blow through the mouth and release. Now we'll inhale to the chest. Inhale, expand the chest. Press the shoulders to the ground. Feel that stretch at the shoulders. Expand the chest. Hold the breath. Release. One more round. Inhale to the chest. Hold. Feel that tension. collapse. The chest is collapsed. Shrug the shoulders. Raise your head a few inches away from the floor. Hold it there. And bring the head back to the ground. Relax the shoulders. Now open your mouth. Take the tongue out. Try to touch the chest with the tip of the tongue. The idea here is you are stretching the face muscles. Take the tongue inside. Squeeze the eyes, squeeze the mouth, and relax. By stretch and relaxation from the tip of the toes to the top of the head, your whole body now completely relax. From this time onwards, you remain in Shavasana, corpse pose, like a dead body. You mentally take an affirmation that I will remain alert, wakeful throughout this practice. I will remain wakeful and conscious throughout this practice. Repeat one more time. I will remain wakeful and conscious throughout the practice. Now bring your awareness to the big toe on your right leg. Relax the second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. Not judging, simply relax. Upper sole on your right foot, relax. Middle, heel. Feel the sensation at the right ankle joint, lower leg, calf muscle, right knee joint, and kneecap. There is an air space between the right knee joint and kneecap. Enjoy that sensation coming out from that air space. Mentally visualize the largest bone in your body at the thigh. Relax the muscles around the thigh. Notice the sensation at the right hip joint. Feel that separation between the leg and the hip joint. Slowly move the awareness to the left leg. Mentally visualize big toe, relax. Second toe, relax. Third, fourth, and fifth toe, relax. Feel the sensation at the upper sole of the left foot, middle, heel, left ankle joint, lower leg, calf muscle, left knee joint, kneecap. There is an air space between the left knee joint and kneecap. Enjoy that sensation coming out from that air space. Mentally visualize the largest bone on your thigh. Relax the muscles around the thigh, left hip joint, groins, and buttocks completely relax. By the power of your imagination, by taking the awareness, both the legs relax. As far as sensitivity concerned, they are cut off from the body. Move to the right hand. Mentally visualize thumb, pointy finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Relax. Inside the right palm, wrist joint, lower hand, elbow, bicep, and shoulder. Relax. Move to the left hand, thumb, pointy finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Relax. Inside the left palm, wrist joint, lower hand, elbow, bicep, and shoulder. Relax. Bring the awareness to the trunk, to the lower abdomen. Mentally visualize kidneys on both sides, urinal bladder, large intestine, small intestine, pancreas and spleen on the left side, liver on the right side, diaphragm at the middle, the whole stomach and internal organs. Relax. By shining the light of consciousness, they receive that energy, the prana. Relax the rib cages. Come to the chest, right part of the chest, left part of the chest. Relax the walls of the heart, arteries. Soften the collarbones, shoulders. Feel the smoothness of the skin around the neck. Come to the chin, both cheeks, ears, eardrums. Relax. Lips, teeth, tongue, nose, nostrils, eyes, eyelids, retina, skulls behind the retina. Relax. Eyebrows. Feel the smoothness at the top of the head, forehead. Scan through the top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. By the power of your imagination, by taking the awareness throughout the practice, throughout the whole body now completely relax. Finally, we'll relax into the nervous system level by relaxing the spine. Bring your awareness to the back of the neck at the cervical region, 7 vertebrae, C1 to C7. Mentally relax each vertebra. As you're relaxing the vertebrae, you are relaxing the nervous system connected with the face, hands, palms, fingers. Slowly come to the thoracic region, middle back. 12 vertebrae, T1 to T12. Consciously visualize each one and relax. Here you're relaxing the nervous system connected to the heart, internal organs. Come to the lower back. At the lumbar region, 5 vertebrae, L1 to L5, relax. Detailed visualization in your mind, relaxing the nervous system connected to the digestive organs. Both the legs completely relax. Finally, relax the sacrum and tailbone. Slowly watch your body on the ground. Notice it is breathing. Feel the heat in the mouth, stomach, throughout the body. With the next inhalation, notice there is a breeze of energy moving from the tip of the toes to the top of the head. Consciously observe as you're exhaling the breeze of energy moving from the top of the head to the tip of the toes. Fully conscious of the movement of prana throughout the body. This is called prana dharana. Both our physical body and energy body are inert in nature. They have no capacity to function by themselves. Slowly enter into the dimension of the mind. Mind is nothing but collection of thoughts, ideas, concepts, emotions. The suggestion, auto-suggestion and semi-auto-suggestion from the mind is activating the prana. With the flow of the prana, the body gets activated. When we drop all the thoughts, all the emotions, all our identity, remain into that awareness in which the thoughts are arise, exist, and dissolve. I am not the thoughts, I am not the mind, I am not this body. I am that pure intelligence consciousness. This is the truth. It is not a belief. It is undeniable. I exist. My existence lend the activities of the mind, movement of the prana. This body is a medium through which I, the self-conscious entity, function. Slowly bring the life forces back into your toes. Wiggle the toes, move the fingers. Notice that life forces peeking back to the body. Bring your both legs together. Keep the eyes closed. Raise your hands over the head. Stretch your body as if you are waking from a deep sleep. Slowly turn to one side. Gently, legs one over the other, hands on the ground. With the help of the hand, you slowly raise your body up. With the eyes closed, come to a sitting posture. Rub your both hands. Then bring the hands over the eyes. Open and close your eyes. And gently massage throughout the face. Spread that energy throughout the body, throughout your hands. Hari Om. Open your eyes.
Thank you, JG.
Hope nobody slept.
I don't think so. We were very keenly watching you doing the yoga. So I know we will all have. Can I have the speaker view, Balaji? Thank you. I know we'll have a lot of questions about Medaji's talk and also JG's talk. As Medaji mentioned, we will be continuing this session. And if you like, you could post your questions too on our chat session. And if we have some Sometime we will address it or we will address it next session. So what does medicine say about sleep? So let us look at that. And before I talk about it, just to introduce myself, I'm Sangeeta Bala, and I'm a geriatric physician. I've been a long time Chinmaya mission member and a sevak, and been leading this Vanaprastha program for the last few months. So sleep, what do we think when we say sleep? It is the opposite of being awake. When we are not awake, we are asleep. Sometimes that happens with our eyes open, but in general, when we talk about sleep, is when we have our eyes closed and we are lying down, preferably in a bed. Our bodies have an internal clock. It's called the circadian rhythm, and it is there in each one of us, and it is also influenced by our environment. So during the daytime, we are awake, and when it is dark, we go to sleep. And sleep is very important to recharge. That's when children grow, and we are also our brain cells, our body gets revitalized. If we are sleep deprived, then we cannot function normally. Driving under influence of alcohol or driving sleep deprived is equivalent to driving under influence of alcohol. So when we talk about sleep issues, let's also see how our sleep changes as we grow older. Our sleep, as we grow older, becomes shorter. Usually, the recommended hours of sleep is 7 to 9 hours, and not beyond that. That's also sleeping too much is also a sleep issue. But we are talking more about lack of sleep right now. So as we grow older, our ability to fall asleep or initiate sleep decreases. To stay asleep or maintain sleep also decreases, and we wake up early, that increases. So insomnia, if this happens, all of these three happens with greater intensity, and it causes us to have daytime fatigue, which is tiredness, and sleepiness is called insomnia. So if it happens, and it should happen at least 3 times a week, if it happens once in a while here or there, it's okay. But if it happens consistently, say for 3 nights a week, then we say insomnia. And if it happens 3 months or for 3 months, it's called chronic insomnia. So what can we do about that? So before we go to a doctor and ask for a prescription or a sleep medication, let's see what all the things that we can do to enhance our sleep. So we have to maintain regular habits. The time we wake up and the time we go to bed has to be regular. And also do not go to bed unless you're sleeping. You should be tired, and when you lie down in bed, you can fall asleep. You should decrease daytime naps. So if you sleep during the day, then you won't be able to sleep during the night. I have a rule for my children, and this rule goes for me and also for all my patients. No napping after 3 p.m. So does that mean we should not nap? No, we can nap. During the day, if you're tired, after a meal, you can nap for 30 minutes, not more than that, and avoid napping after 3 p.m. Exercise is very important. If you're not tired, then you probably won't sleep. So exercise your body in one way or the other, and probably your mind too. And the bed, lot of times we forget the bed is for sleeping. We use bed for many purposes. Some of us now with the COVID, I think some of us would even work from our bed. Set up our laptops, work from the bed, watch TV, read a book. I actually love to lie on my bed and read a book, but we should avoid this because then bed does not provoke or encourage us to fall asleep. It's more for other purposes. So maintaining these important habits of sleep hygiene is important. So when you lie in bed, like Medaji mentioned, we should try to relax and forget all our worries. I think when we lie down, that's when our mind starts racing. We start thinking about what happened at work today, or something that happened on the way home, or what's going to happen tomorrow, things like that. It's not wrong to contemplate what happened or just recall what happened, but to worry about it and disturb our sleep is something that we should avoid. And don't go to bed hungry or angry. You should have a full meal before you go to bed, but that doesn't mean that you have to eat and go to bed immediately. That also should be avoided. You should at least have your meal at least 1 hour before you go to bed, because if you go to bed immediately after a meal, you can also develop conditions like heartburns, reflux. So recommended that after you eat, you walk a little bit or stay in an erect position before you go lie down. And also think about what I said about angry. Never go to bed angry. It's very hard to fall asleep. Then things that we should avoid: caffeine. And that's another rule that I have for myself, for my patients. Do not drink coffee or tea or any caffeinated drinks after 3 p.m. Some people like to have some cup of coffee at tea time, which is okay, but please avoid it at dinner. Some people like to have a cup of coffee or a tea after dinner. That should be avoided because caffeine is a stimulant. It's going to keep you awake. It's going to also, it's a diuretic. A diuretic is a substance that's going to have you urinate or go to the bathroom. So that's going to keep you awake by keeping your bladder full. It's uncomfortable, and then it'll make you go to the bathroom. So every time you have to go to the bathroom, your sleep will be interrupted. Alcohol should also be avoided. A lot of people like to have a nightcap, like a little alcohol to help them go to sleep. Initially, it might help you, but in the long run, it should be avoided because alcohol has a paradoxical effect on sleep. It will actually keep you more awake than asleep. And, we all read stories or tell stories to our children before they go to bed. Some not exciting stories, but calming, soothing stories to help them. So we should do that for ourselves. We should be able to do something to wind down. So, like I mentioned and said, don't, avoid doing things that you shouldn't be doing in bed other than sleep, but maybe read a book, but not a book that will relax you, and not a book that probably wants to have you turn the page, to find out what's the end or what's the climax is. Not a book that will excite you, but something that will be calming. Sometimes I find my own textbooks, that helps me. When I read, I can fall asleep too. So find something that you can wind down. One of the things that I wanted to mention is in a normal physiology, when we fall asleep, our core body temperature drops by 1 degree that helps us to go to sleep. So what we can do is to increase our body temperature and then lie down so that our body temperature will not automatically fall. So what can we do? Remember how our mothers or grandmothers used to give us a warm glass of milk at night before we go to bed? That's one of the reasons. It increases your core body temperature. And as you lie down and as the milk is getting digested, and also your stomach is also full, right? Um, it kind of helps you to fall asleep. Having warm baths also help. Showers, hot showers are not bad. You can also do that. Warm chamomile tea is also is recommended, and you can try that to relax to go to sleep. Try to go to sleep in your own bedroom every day, like shut the drapes or curtains so that you block the light out. uh, don't have any bright lights, and don't leave the TV on, that, or your computer on, or anything that will have bright light that will interfere with your sleep. And wear a comfortable clothes. Tight clothing are very uncomfortable, and something that you're very comfortable and relaxing is something that you can wear. Usually they say you lie in bed, you should fall asleep by 30 minutes. If you're not able to sleep by 30 minutes, they do recommend you to get up and do something that other than sleep. If you want to go and do some activity and then come back and try to sleep again is also another technique that's helpful. So these kind of takes me to, I already touched on the non-pharmacological interventions to improve your sleep hygiene or your sleep. So once again, to kind of review and to put some technical terms, which I won't dwell on too much, but you might hear these things in case you go to say a therapist or a doctor when you are talking about your sleep. So stimulus control. So go to bed only when you're sleepy, and make sure you have eaten, had a good meal, um, and avoid daytime naps. So these things are what we call stimulus control, and also have some sleep restriction. We sleep at any time we want, or wake up anytime we want. We should have a discipline and routine too. Something that is physiological and that we take for granted, we should also make it a good habit. So if you try to go to bed like 10 or 9 or 10, and then wake up in the morning at 6, and during the day avoid naps. So have a routine. So this is called sleep restrictions. And relaxation techniques, there's several relaxation techniques. One of the techniques JG already talked about, the yoga nidra. There is also meditation. Yes, you can listen to relaxing music, soothing music. And there are also several relaxation music that are available, nature sounds that you like, sounds of waterfalls or flute music, something that is calm and subdued. Definitely not musics that are party music, right? Invigorating. I don't think so. We can listen to them and go to sleep. Of course, you can listen to chants, bhajans, whatever you like. That will help you to relax and go to sleep. So a combination of all this, right? Stimulus control, sleep restriction, and relaxation technique is called cognitive behavior therapy. Supposing you go to a therapist, not a psychiatrist, but a therapist, to kind of address some of your sleep issues. This is what they will be talking about. And the feedback that they give you is called the biofeedback. So One more technique I think it's very important is bright light therapy. This is very important, especially during winter. We're so used to being in artificial light. So during summer, try to have natural light come in. Turn off your artificial lights, your bulbs and lamps, and then open up your blinds and let sunlight come in. And if you can go spend time in the sunlight, it's very important. That helps with sleep. In case you have elderly people, really old, in 90s, 80s, 80-year-old and 90-year-old, if they are unable to get outside, then bright light lamps that have bright light allow them to be exposed to it for some period during the day. That helps them to sleep at night. So these are some of the techniques we can do. I'll be talking more about it in our program next month as well. And I'll also give you a little tidbit about a natural supplement that you might take before you go for a prescription medication for sleep is melatonin. Melatonin is a natural hormone that is present in your body. It helps to regulate sleep-wake cycle. So you can find it over the counter. Take the lowest dose that's available. My recommendation is usually 3 milligrams. And you take it 30 minutes or 1 hour before your sleep time. But remember that you have to take this medication same time every night, or it will disrupt your sleep. And avoid taking it after midnight. This is a medication also used for jet lag. You might have noticed, for to regulate your sleep when you are traveling and there is a time difference. So with this, I'm going to stop or pause here because we have a guest speaker who's going to talk about an interesting technique for relaxation called art therapy. With that, let me introduce my namesake, Sangeeta Prasad, who's a trained art therapist. Hari Om, Sangeeta.
Hari Om. Thank you, Sangeeta, Dr. Bala, for giving me this opportunity to talk here. I hope everybody can hear me. Thank you, Gomati ji. I am a trained art therapist, and some of you might wonder what is art therapy. I grew up in Chennai, India, and I've always loved art. And so I got the good fortune to learn art therapy. And for the last 30 years, I've been practicing as an art therapist, a little bit in India and a lot here. So worked in hospitals, day treatment centers, and so I'll share a short presentation and then we can have some question answers. So most of us actually in India, art has been always part of our lives, right? It is there all the time. We do it in the morning with putting rangoli, columns in front of the house, or tying flowers for God, or decoration in the alankaram. There is a lot of art in our culture. What has happened with modern day life is this art has been separated into just wall hangings or different things and not done by us, right? So art therapy takes this very instinctual way of integrating art into our lives and has brought it as a healing tool back into our life. So that is the gist of art therapy. I'd like to share this little thing about coloring. It is supposed to relieve stress. Yes, it does. When we can color, actually, even in our rangolis, we do a lot of coloring. If you notice, we color inside the patterns. It is very relaxing. It is cognitively, we use our skills. We use fine motor, gross motor skills. So there's so much we use in art. So that is, so what is art therapy? It's basically an integrative mental health and human services profession. We have to get a master's in art therapy. So we are trained as counselors and as artists. So we combine two fields of psychology as well as art. So we are trained in all the art forms, and the creative process itself is very healing. So that is what we do as art therapists. Art therapists work with individuals who are facing medical or mental health challenges, as well as individuals who are seeking emotional growth. And so that's why in our religions, also different from Buddhism, Hinduism, art is very much integrated into the whole pujas or rituals that are done, because that gives another avenue for getting in touch with who we are, what we are, and our different skills and abilities. So we work in schools with children with different disorders. We work in hospitals with AIDS patients. And how do we work is by bringing the art to them in their environment. They are able to express themselves, they are able to be creative, and therefore they are able to bring about healing. We work in community-based programs in senior citizens' home with dementia patients, because they are losing their memory, their fine motor, gross motor coordinations with Alzheimer's patients. So to keep the brain engaged, art can be a wonderful tool. And also with individuals with mental illness or substance abuse in private practice settings. These are all the different places with families, individuals, people, couples and families facing relationship and communication challenges. So today the topic is sleep, and the visualization I have is about which will give you an introduction as to one aspect of art therapy that we use, which is visualization. So this will be a little interactive. So I'd like you to either close your eyes or keep it open and think about a flower. Think about the color of the flower. Think about the smell of the flower, the fragrance of that flower. Think about a memory that's associated with that flower. Take your time, few minutes. Just visualizing. This is a technique you can also use before you go to sleep. You can use this technique as you fall asleep, instead of thinking about the past or the future or the regrets of the day or the complaints. You can think of any image that comes to your mind. You can bring up an image, bring some consciousness to it. You can think about that image, and then slowly you can fall asleep. So as you think about this flower, the color of the flower, the fragrance, and the memory associated. And when you're ready, you can take a deep breath and open your eyes. You can either write in the chat or you can unmute your mic and share the flower that you had visualized, the color or the fragrance or the memory associated with it.
Gomati ji, do you want to share? I saw you smile as soon as Sangeeta ji asked that question.
No, I have a lot of tulips in my garden. So I was just thinking of the tulips and the red color.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Thank you. Yeah, and as we will see, as people share each person's individual is very individualized. It is whatever flower that came up for them, right? So it's something from your subconscious, your experiences that comes up. There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just what came up.
Sangeeta ji, can I read out what's in the chat? Because people
Yeah.
are, I'm just amazed at the specific flower they are saying.
Right.
Gomati ji said red tulip.
Mm-hmm.
And Ravi Ravichandran said white gardenia.
Mm-hmm.
Kalpana ji said yellow hibiscus. I think that's Vandana Ji, although I'm not sure of full name, Red Rose. And JG, I think I should let him talk. He said, oh, is it Shenbagam? I think it's Shenbagam. It's lovely
Yeah,
smell and yellow. It's a very Indian flower.
champa that we call. Yeah.
And
Yes.
Sampanki is,
Sampangi
yeah,
is the one.
yeah, that's also a beautiful flower, and jasmine. I am now surrounded by nice fragrance.
Okay. So as you can see that the individual experiences have come up for each person. And so this is what we really use in art therapy, is by empowering the person to choose what they want from the materials we offer. So maybe we'll ask them to do a picture, or we might ask them to express themselves through the art form. We also have other techniques that we have. And the memories are very individual, right? So that's another, it's like a springboard to conversation with the therapist. And that way they are not only focused on the problem, but we can build on resilience, on inner strength, on courage. So we can use the art process for so many different things. So I'm not going to go on to the next technique, but I was thinking this one, why choose art therapy? Because we can self-discovery, we can get to know ourselves better. Just like the Vedanta has in it a way to, what did Sri Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? He says, know thyself. And this is another avenue of knowing thyself. That's all it is, the visual communication. It is also another way of trauma-informed recovery that is fostering healing and mental health issues. Sometimes it's like a tape recorder in our head. It keeps on going about the past. So one of the ways is by putting it out on paper, by getting it out, talking about it, we can let go, learn to let go of past trauma and refill our cup with present day pleasant experiences through painting, drawing, clay modeling. So by giving clients that opportunity, people that opportunity to work with the art materials, they find a sense of relief. Grief and loss is another area we work with, where again, loss is something that is very difficult. So expressing our feelings about loss is also a way we can use the art process for that. Pain management, shifting attention away from pain stimuli. When we are focused on pain, we feel the pain a lot more. So we give tools for the clients, for them to find ways of not focusing on their pain all the time and experiencing their body without pain. So in yoga also the same thing, with chanting we do that in also. So that's another way that art therapists use the art process. And also sometimes by stimulating the nervous system, by stimulating the fine motor coordination, the gross motor coordination, we can really work with pain management. And cognitive and sensory skills, we work with a lot of different developmental delays. So, and as you become a senior, your fine motor, gross motor coordinations are reduced. So even coloring books can be very relaxing, can really improve your fine motor, can improve your gross motor, even picking up the color pencil, coloring, then making choices, that's also a creative process. Drawing, looking at a picture and drawing can be very helpful. Other kind of craft like knitting, crochet, all these stitching, these are all art forms that are very much integrated in our everyday life. And so these are ways that we can integrate the therapeutic aspects of art. So I'll leave it at that. And if there are any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, or we can have it. Unmute your mic and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you for this opportunity once again.
Sangeeta ji, can you please put your information in the chat? People
Yeah.
can email you as well.
Sure.
So we have about 4 minutes. So I invite the audience at this time. If you have any questions or something that you want to share, please, please unmute your mic and share with us or ask your question. Or please type your questions in the chat as well. And Gomati ji, do you want to make the announcement about the Sri Ramanavami celebration today?
Yeah, we can do that. We have a session. Let me read it. I don't want to give wrong information. But before that, Sangeeta, I wanted to ask you this question. Does what we eat influence the sleep pattern? How much effect it has, what we consume?
Absolutely. Diet and exercise is part and parcel of all our functions. So you're supposed to have a healthy, large breakfast when you wake up, a small or a medium lunch, and a small dinner. You're supposed to sleep, you're not supposed to sleep on an empty stomach, but if you eat a lot and if you go to bed with bloating and uncomfortable sensation, then it's hard to fall asleep. So if you're going to ask me specifically what we should avoid, I think I mentioned, caffeine, alcohol, you should be avoiding before you go to sleep. And then you have to have a diary about things that you eat and then how you slept that night if you're having sleep issues. That will help you to understand your own eating habits. Did you have any specific question about any food that you should avoid, Gomati?
Next week we'll continue, Sangeeta, because I think we are approaching the time. I do want to end it on time this time because we have I have so many questions because this is the most common problem our friends have, right? The sleep problem.
Yes, we can continue. And if you want to make that announcement,
Yeah, I'll make that
a
announcement.
minute or a two.
Yeah, we have a wonderful program at Chinmaya from CMWRC, I think. It's a Sri Ramanavami and Hanuman Jayanti. It's a Zoom program. It starts at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It'll be lab bhajans, chanting by our Balavihar children, and reflections by Vedanta teachers and study group members, and a very special message from our Swamiji, Swami Dheranandaji. This is a free program. Anyone can join. And this is a Zoom program. Balaji, could you send the link via the chat? So
yeah, I just added in the chat.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. So please do join. Don't miss it. It's a 1.5 hour program. We do have time for you to relax and go back and join the Zoom call. So please do join.
Thank you, Gomati ji.
Thank you. Thank you. We can conclude, Sangeeta.
Sure. So with that, we are coming to close of the program for this month. And we will continue this program for next month as well. So our programs are usually on the 4th Saturdays of each month. I had posted the email address in the chat, and if you can send your comments or even like a hi email or a hello email, and then we'll keep you posted about our future programs. So until next time, on the behalf of the entire Vanaprastha team, it's not goodbye, so long, Hari Om. And I always like to add this, what Gurudev would say. Healthy body, pure mind, brilliant intellect for your spiritual quest. But according to me, any quest that you might have in your life, follow these 3 things that he has said. So Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om Sangeeta ji. Bye.
Bye, Neelam ji.
Bye.
Mehtaji, I loved your message today, Mehtaji. It was so crisp, very, very to the point.
It's Vedanta.
No matter how many times we hear it, it is very good.
I know.
One more time to